And we'll start seated in the middle of our mat. And make yourself comfortable. If you need to sit on a little pillow or a block, you can raise your hips up a bit. Morning, Amanda. That's all right. So yeah, just make yourself comfortable and just really ground down through your sits bones onto the yoga mat or cushion, wherever you're sitting on. Just rest your hands softly on your knees, making your spine nice and long. Try and lift up out of your sits bones. Just roll the shoulders back, try and relax them away from the ears. And try and make the back of the spine and the neck nice and long. And just start to soften your gaze and start to breathe in nice and slowly through your nose and out through your mouth. And two more like that. Cleansing breath in and exhaling out through the mouth. Releasing any tension with every exhale. Inhale again and exhale. And then continue to breathe normally. Just observe the rise and fall of your belly. And given that that was the full moon on the weekend, we're going to think about something that we can release this month. So throughout the session, set an intention for today's class, thinking about something that you can release, and we'll release that through our breath and our yoga poses. So take a moment to just think about whatever comes to you. And then again, taking a big breath in and releasing out. And then start to bring your head to one shoulder. And just allow all the neck muscles to relax. Allow any tension to smelt off your shoulder. And then rolling your neck forward into your chest and coming over to the other side, and again bringing the ear to the other shoulder, allowing any tension to melt away. And continue your breath nice and slowly, using the breath to release any tension or any emotions. And then continue to roll between both ears, bring the chin into the chest and then to the other side, nice and slowly, connecting with your breath and the movement. Doing a few from side to side. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can start to circle your nose upwards in a circle. Just being careful of not putting the head back too much. So we're just doing some nice big circles with our neck. Connecting with the breath. And then rotating to the other side if you haven't done so already. Just waking up the top of the spine. And then coming back to center, nice big shoulder rolls. And then inhaling, our hands come up, reaching up to the ceiling. Oh, then one hand forward, one hand back. Oh, and then you can place the front hand on your knee if you want a tiny bit more of a twist, or just one in front, one in back, but just continuing that length in our spine. Every time we inhale, we lengthen, and then on the exhale we twist a tiny bit further, looking over the back shoulder, but without forcing anything. Just waking up the top of the spine. And then feeling the back hand under the front hand. So the back hand will come under, feeding it under. And then we can just hug ourselves here, giving ourselves a nice little hug. Yeah, opening up the backs of the shoulders. And you can stay here, or you might be able to bring the backs of your hands together, or even the palms facing each other into eagle arms. But if this is more comfortable, you can also stay here. Breathing in, trying to open the backs of the shoulders. Again, using your breath as the exhale to release any tension. And if you're in eagle arms, you can even play around with bringing the elbows up on the inhale. And on the exhale, bringing the elbows in towards your belly. But you can also do whatever feels good for you. If it feels better just to hold the position, that's also okay. Listen to your body. And then again, if you're doing any movement, just synchronizing the breath slowly with the movement. And then on the next inhale, unraveling your arms, stretching up to the ceiling one more time. Stretching up, interlace your hands. Oh, coming over to one side. And then inhaling back up, coming over to the other. So just some slight little bends. And then we lengthen one more time. This time, other hand comes forward, other hand comes back. So twisting the opposite direction now. Inhale, lengthening your spine. Really pull out of the sits bones, lengthening the spine, and then on the exhale, twisting, looking over the back shoulder. Focusing on trying to twist from the top part of our spine. So the top half. Again, using the breath. One more inhale. And then the back hand feeds under the front arm. Give yourself a nice little hug. So our elbows are stacked on each other. Nice big hug. Oh, and then just start to open up the backs of the shoulders. Do some little wiggle wiggles. And then you can stay here, or you can come into your eagle arms. Whatever feels comfortable for your shoulders. You might find that one side is slightly different to the other side. That's also okay. So take each side as it comes today. And then as we inhale, we can lift our elbows. And on the exhale, we can bring our elbows down into our belly. Nice and slowly. And then just remembering every inhale, breathing in love and compassion, and on the exhale, releasing whatever is holding us back and is no longer serving us. On the next inhale, wherever you are, we'll start to unravel our arms. Again, reaching up to the ceiling. Oh, interlace the fingers, reaching up again. This time bringing the hands behind the head, opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest to the ceiling, to the sun. And just feel your heart's energy. Fill with love and compassion. And then we'll slowly drop our chin in towards our chest. Nice and slowly. And I just allow the weight of the hands rest on the back of the head and just open the neck. Just be careful not to push or hurt anything. But allow gravity to do the weight, to do the work. Then inhaling nice and slowly, coming back up, opening up the chest once more. Big breath in. And then exhaling, releasing the hands. And we'll come forward into a tabletop position. And start to do any movements that feel good to you. You can just do normal cat-cow, dropping the belly, looking forward. And then exhaling, reaching through or pushing through the top of the spine. Or you might like to do some circles, big circles with your hips, or you might like to do figure 8, but just tune in to your body, check in with how your hips are feeling, how your hands feeling. Feel all the different curvatures of your spine. How's your spine feeling this morning? Just doing any movements that feel good in your body, and just continuing to breathe nice and slowly, connecting any movement that you do with your breath. And then coming back to normal, hands rooted under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And then lifting your right leg out, extending it out to the back of the mat, toes touching the ground. And we'll just do a nice little calf stretch. So just rocking softly backwards and forth. And then lifting up the leg, pushing against the back of the imaginary wall, that's it. And then lifting up the leg. So lifting up the foot, so we've got a bent knee. Inhaling, lift the knee slightly. And then on the exhale, slowly bring the knee in towards the chest. And then again, lifting up the knee. Nice and slow movements here. And one more. And then exhale again. Pull, toes come back down to the back of the mat. Swivel the bent knee to the side of the mat, and then we're going to come up into our supported side plank. Yep, so just swivel this leg to the side, to the out of the mat, and then lift up the right hand. That's it. So we're just balancing on our left shin and our left hand. Come on, then we can extend that hand above our head and start to lift up the foot as well. Come on, extend long on the inhale, and on the exhale, elbow comes in towards our knee. Or you can also stay here in the side plank if you feel like doing that today, that's also okay. Or you can do a few reps of extension and then elbow to knee. And again, remembering the breath, go at your own tempo, your own rhythm. And then extend long again. You can again just stay here, or you might be able to hold the back of your foot, and then really push into the hand with your foot, and you'll feel a nice opening in your right shoulder and your right hip flexor. And smile. Balancing here. And taking one more breath, trying to lift up and out, opening up the chest again. Okay, inhaling one more time, and then on the exhale, turning, swiveling the leg back and placing both feet and hands back down. Again, doing any movements that feel good, any wiggles. Off. And then extending the left leg out, toes touch the back of the mat, and we just rock backs and forth, opening up the calf muscle. Again, breathing nice and slowly. And then we lift our left leg up. Imagine that we're pushing against an imaginary wall. So we're finding that length in our spine from our neck all the way down to the back of our leg. And then bending the foot, so our knee is bent. Yep, lift the knee slightly on the inhale. And then on the exhale, knee comes in towards our chest. Nice and slow movement. Synchronizing the breath. And just do 3 or 4 of these in your own time. And really focusing on the transition between the two movements rather than the end goal. So enjoying the journey. Extending the leg long. Yeah. Swivel the right leg to the side or the outside of the mat. And then inhale, lifting up the left hand. Coming to our supported side plank. So, once you find comfort here, grounding through the right hand, we can extend our left hand long above our head, and then we can lift up our leg as well. So we're balancing here on our shin and our hand. Extend long, and then on the exhale, slowly bring the elbow and the knee together. And try again. Inhale. Some nice slow movements again. Be really mindful of the transition between these. And one last one, extend again. And now we can bring our hand behind to grab onto the outside of our ankle, and then we can push our foot into our hand. The more that we push our foot in, that will open up our shoulder a bit more. So again, but also find your point of balance and challenge, but not too much. Listen to your body. Feel the left shoulder and hip opening. Again, smile and breathe. One more breath. And then slowly release. Exhale and inhale. Lengthen your body one more time. And then exhale, placing the hand down. Leg swivels back. And the left leg also comes down. Again, any movements that feel good, you can do them. From side to side. And then sending our bottom back into a child's pose. Extending our arms long. And then lifting our bottom off a tiny bit, curling our toes and feeling our hands in front of us, spreading the fingers slightly, but not too much. And then feeling the weightlessness in our hands. Now just, start to pad your hands on the yoga mat. We're going to start sending our hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Just focusing on the weight coming backwards, so we continue to have that weightlessness in our fingers. And you can just transition between these two postures a few times, coming down into child's pose with our toes curled, and then lifting our hips back up. So imagine that someone is coming behind you and lifting your hips up and backwards when you're doing this. That's it. And then once you feel comfortable in downward facing dog, stay here, let your head dangle, release any tension. Do any movements again that feel good in this position. Then we start to roll our body forward into plank. And then hover the knees just above, drop the knees, hover them. And then sending the hips up and back again. And again, rolling our body forward into plank position. Holding the plank here, extend our heels to the back of the mat, so we get that really long length of our spine. Drop the knees, but hover, don't let them touch. And then we extend back to downward facing dog. Now you can make this into a flow, rolling your body forward, dropping the knees, sending the hips up and back, and going in a rhythm that feels good for you. Or you might prefer to hold plank or hold down facing dog. That's also okay. Listen to your body and what it needs today. And then sending our knees down and back to child's pose once more. And then slowly coming up. And our hands coming into our chest. So we're just sitting on the backs of our heels at the back of our mat. So, because we're going to do a moon salutation, which is nice to do in the evenings if you feel like doing a slower, similar to a sun salutation, but it's more of a calming flow. And since it's been the full moon, this is a nice one to be doing at the moment if we're trying to take things a bit slower. So starting, sitting on our heels, hands in at our chest. And we inhale, we reach up to the sun. And exhale, fold our body forward, over, so we're in a child's pose. And then start to slide our body forward, coming into baby cobra. Sliding our body forward, hands under our shoulders, and we inhale, nice, slowly up. Baby cobra, rolling our body down. Curling the toes, and we'll come into a downward facing dog, sending the hips up and back. Taking a breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And stepping the left leg forward, dropping the back knee. Inhaling, coming up, we come into our crescent lunge. We'll take a breath here. If you want a bit more heat, you can come into high lunge and do the whole sequence like that if you're feeling like a bit more heat today. Cool. Inhale, lengthen, and on the exhale, place both hands in front of your foot. Step the back foot forward, in between both. Dangle here for a moment. Let's take a breath in and exhale. And inhaling up halfway to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, touching the earth again. And then inhale, reaching up to the sun. Reaching up and then pulling the sun's energy down in towards our heart. And then take a breath here. Inhaling and exhale. And again, inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Say hello to the sun. Exhale, fold your body forward, sending the hips backwards. So bending the knees so you touch the earth. Say hello to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold, touching both feet down. This time send your left foot backwards. And dropping the knee. So now you should have your opposite leg forward, should be the right leg that's forward. Inhaling, reaching up into our crescent lunge on the other side. Taking a breath in here. Inhale, lengthen one more time. On the exhale, frame the front foot with both hands. Curl the back toe and send our hips backwards to downward facing dog. Taking a breath here, inhale and exhale. In, rolling our body forward into a plank position, dropping the knees and rolling our body down into our baby cobra, or you can lower down in a straight line as well. Inhale up, baby cobra, shoulders come away from the ears, and then exhale, rolling the body back down. Hands underneath the shoulders, and we send our bottom now backwards into our child's pose. Resting our forehead on the ground here. Inhale and exhale. On the inhale, lifting our hands up to the sun. Bottom still stays on our heels. And then we exhale and our hands come back into our heart. And then taking another breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then stay here just to finish off with inhaling again. And exhale. And once more, thinking about whatever we can be releasing in our life that's no longer serving us. And then think about an action that we want to take to replace that. So positive action, breathe that in, fill your whole body up with that. And exhale, release whatever you are letting go of at this moment. And then bow your head into your hands, and we finish with Namaste.